G'day, I'm Tom Ragg, aka The Lost Ninja, and I'm joined today by Evangeline Lilly. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. How have you been enjoying Australia so far?
I've been enjoying it from the window of my hotel room. It's gorgeous, but I haven't had a chance to get out in it yet.
Have you got a view of the harbour?
A view of the harbour, of the amusement park, of the bridge, of the Sydney Opera House.
Kate's gone through an enormous amount of growth on the show. You know, you started off in the first season and you were constantly running, and then by the end of the mini season at the beginning of this season, you were told, Kate, run, damn it, run. Wouldn't run. How's that played out? Like, what sort of have you offered to the role to the writers, saying, you know, this is what I want to do?
It's been entirely them. I've had ideas of where I would like to see Kate go and how I would like to see my character evolve and change. Some of those ideas have come to fruition, and some of them have been completely left by the wayside when I've seen where the writers are taking her. You know, one of the things I had said at the beginning of season 2 was that I would like to see Kate stand on her own 2 feet outside of any man.
Yes.
He didn't mean it, you know.
What?
Sawyer. When he said that he didn't want you to go with him, he didn't mean it.
He didn't mean it. Why'd he say it?
He was trying to protect you. That's why I asked you not to come back for me.
Obviously, that hasn't happened.
That's not the plan.
That's not really where the writers are going with her, I don't think.
Right.
But it was really wonderful to see that evolution that you're talking about. The evolution of her going from somebody who's completely emotionally stunted, who has walls up all around her all the time, to somebody who suddenly allows herself to connect emotionally and allows herself to become vulnerable and to access something in her that allows her to, for the first time in her life, stay rather than run. I need to talk to you. In private.
Anything you want to say to me, you can say in front of her.
Yeah, you know what? You should stay. Seems only fair considering that she's the reason no one wants to tell you that there's a woman in Hurley's tent who parachuted onto the island yesterday.
Why didn't anyone tell me this?
Because they don't trust you.
Well, we've seen in the backstory that there's a very legitimate reason why you constantly want to be on the run. I mean, apart from the fact that you killed the man that was really your father, who you didn't know that he was your father, and then you're being chased by this marshal for years. Do you have to get in a certain mindset when you're playing the flashback Kate that's different to the island Kate, where you're just like, okay, I have to be really paranoid for the rest of the day today?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're worried about me, Jack.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you have a problem staying in one place for very long, Kate.
She is way more vulnerable because most of the flashbacks happen at a time when she's only just learning to develop the walls that she's built up by the time we first met her on the island. The last flashback I did where she was with Cassidy.
Yes.
And they were on the run together. She was just brand new to being an on-the-run convict. And that was something that she was still learning. She was still learning how to lie about her name and how to bluff things. And she was still really, really very vulnerable and very hurt over her mother and her mother's betrayal.
Well, your character's had more contact with the smoke monster than anybody else on the island, and yet it's never directly coming for you, we've noticed. What's that like? Do you ever stand there and be like, come on, come for me, Smokey, come get me?
You are the lost ninja. That's a great observation. A lot of people miss those sort of details. I've been running in terror from that thing for 3 years. I've now reached a point where it's like, you have your tags where you know you're going to go there emotionally, you know how to get to that place. I have the monster emotion, I know where to go for that because I've been with it so many times. But it's never me. It's never me. And I find that very interesting because the characters that it has seemed to go for, the characters that it has come face to face with and photographed, it almost feels like, really observed their inner souls and their inner workings, have all been characters that are very strong, that are very one-sided, that are very, in some way, pure, whether it be pure evil or pure good or pure, there's something very pure, and I feel a little disappointed. I feel like somehow Kate's been shafted. She's been slighted by the monster.
Aww.
He's not interested in her.
Well, maybe you've impressed it somehow. Else, we know that you love to climb the trees. Perhaps it just knows that if it would come for you, bam, you're up a tree, nothing to worry about.
And as we know, banyan trees terrify the monster because every time I go to a banyan tree,
stops.
Safe.
Do you think that they're going to find any more people out in the jungle? Because we know Well, when this goes to air, people will have seen the finale by now, and they know that there's a boat coming.
I really hope the only new people they introduce at this point now are the people on that boat, because more people hidden on this island, you know, emerging from the jungle or from the ocean or something. I don't know that the audience is going to go with us a third time on that one.
Well, you know, you could have a really interesting death scene again, because the burying people alive, that was pretty good, but seeing if they could up the ante from that, that'd be interesting, because I mean, it pleased fans somewhat to see those characters go, which is, you know, it's a horrible thing to say. I know, I'm sorry, but that's what people said.
That was such an awkward storyline. That was so hard. I mean, you work with these people and you care about them as human beings, and then you see what's happening to them on the show, and you just don't even know what to say. And you come to work and you're like, yeah, sorry you got buried alive today. That's unfortunate. It's not really the greatest, most glamorous way to go. But hopefully there won't be too many more deaths of regular characters on the show next season. I don't know. I've heard rumors there'll be tons. I've heard rumors there'll be none. I'm just crossing my fingers for Kate. I hope she hangs on a little longer. Definitely.
Now that we've seen this flash forward, and we know that you end up off the island, does that mean things are looking pretty good for you on the island, would you assume?
It feels like it. But for all we know, you know, episode 1, season 4, we jump on a boat and take off the island. And then who knows?
Could happen.
Then who knows?
Yeah, then you'd have to move to LA.
No thanks.
Yeah. We have a question from the fans.
Okay.
They want to know, does Kate own a second pair of underwear?
Everyone's asking me that now. Kate has the pair of underwear that she crashed in, and the pair of underwear that the others gave her when they stole and burned her clothes. I'm just hoping that we get off the island before they start to wear through.
Final question. What do you want to see Kate do this year? Just one thing. Just one moment. It might be flip Sawyer the bird, or...
I want to see Kate make a bloody decision. One or the other.
Yes.
You know,
we thought you'd made one last year, but then, you know, you flipped it up in the finale with the I love you, with that whole conversation there. Are you as confused as we are?
I just want it to go one way or the other. I feel like watching Kate flip between two men, it takes away so much of the respect I had for her when the show first started and she was this strong, independent, capable woman. Now it's like, I don't know which one today. I hate that. And I want her to go one way or the other.
Personally, who are you picking? Can you put that out there?
I mean, I can't decide, because to me, they're like my older brother and my little brother, and there's something extremely perverse in trying to decide between those two options. But if I were to go with the storyline and I were to go with what I think is gonna work for the story, it's got to be Jack. But what's gonna work for like 99% of the women in the world at this point is Sawyer. They're loving Sawyer right now.
Jin, Bernard, Saeed, they should have caught up to us by now. I want to go back to make sure they're all right.
Of course you do.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means, Kate, there's always someone to go back for.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. It was wonderful to meet you.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks very much.
Why are you sticking up for Sawyer? He'd never do it for you.
Because I love you.